Tonight, much of the country is seeing the first blast of winter. And today, stocks acted as if they were frozen in place. The Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 were little changed. But who's complaining? For stock investors, the past 4 weeks, all winners, felt like a month at the beach following a very chilly early autumn stretch. Here's how things look today at the closing bell. The Dow down a modest 18 points, but the NASDAQ was up by 8 and the S&P 500 ended a fraction of a point higher, but that was just enough to mark the index's 41st record close this year. For the week, the Dow rose a fraction, the NASDAQ was up more than 1%, and the S&P 500 edged a little bit higher too, as you see there. Bob Pisani now with more on what's been driving the markets sharply higher since those lows back just a month ago.
It's been an up and down week for stocks with only fractional gains for the major indices, but the bottom line is we're essentially back to historic highs. Not surprisingly, the market has been led back by sectors that had the biggest declines earlier in October. Healthcare and tech stocks were having a great year going into October, but they got hit in the period between roughly October 8th and the bottom on the 15th. Now that makes sense. In a broad market decline, the leadership stocks are the ones that usually get hit the most. So Intel, for example, was up 34% going into October, but it dropped 7% in the first half of that month. But since then, both tech and healthcare have recovered all their losses and are essentially right back near historic highs. That period in early October also corresponded to a big drop in oil, which had been dropping for months but fell an additional 10% in the first half of October. That put pressure on energy stocks, and here's where the story is different. Energy stocks have not recovered like the rest of the market has because oil took another leg down just as the rest of the market was bottoming in mid-October. That has limited the recovery in energy stocks. They're only up about 5% since the bottom on October 15th. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Bob Pisani at the New York Stock Exchange.